KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A violent Halloween night left several people hurt and in the hospital. What police are saying about the recovery this morning. Plus, 42 million Americans just lost SNAP benefits this morning. What a federal judge is doing to restore them and how you can find help here in San Antonio. That's next on GMSA.
And goodbye to October. Hello, November. It is a chilly morning. It's also the Los Muertos this weekend. I've got a look at what you can expect as far as the weather goes, including a small rain chance today coming up.
Good morning. It's 6 a.m. on your Saturday. Sarah, it was nice last night.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, my goodness. I just sat outside in my porch with my baby. He had his dinner outside and people were coming by.
Did he wear his costume?
He did. He was a little astronaut, and he matched my husband. I might be able to show pictures a little bit later. By the way, if you do have pictures, put them on KSAT Connect. We'd love to be able to share those with everybody at home. Let's go ahead and take a look though outside with temperatures. It's 52 degrees in San Antonio. It's 52 in the Hill Country in Kerrville. It's 57 in Del Rio. Still a chilly morning, but a little bit warmer than the last couple of mornings for us. And as we take a look across the state, you can see there's a cool front. Now, this cool front is not going to make it very, very cold, but what it is going to do is it's going to introduce a very small chance for rain today. We're talking only a 20% chance. Really, everybody should notice, though, increasing clouds. Other than that, a stray sprinkle is possible, but do not cancel your plans because take a look at how beautiful the weather is going to be today. 75 for the high. By the start of the morning tomorrow, 49 and 73 for the high. Tomorrow, sunny and comfortable around San Antonio. I'll be back with a look at that small rain chance and time it out for you coming up in just a bit. Sarah.
Sarah, thank you. And it was a violent Halloween night in San Antonio. 2 overnight shootings left several people injured while attending parties. Police say they responded to the first shooting last night around 10 p.m. When they arrived on scene, they found 2 victims with gunshot wounds. One man was shot 3 times in the leg and the woman was grazed. Police say they were walking up to a house for a Halloween party when they were shot. So it's unclear if those shots came from the party or from someone passing by. Both victims were sent to the hospital and they're expected to be okay. Then about 2 hours later and 6 minutes away from that first shooting, another happening on Lee Hall Street. That's not far from Blanco Road. When police arrived, they said they found an 18-year-old woman who was shot on her legs. Now, she was sent to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. However, while officers were investigating, they were alerted that 3 other victims were found at different hospitals. All were coming from the same Halloween party. Everyone is expected to be okay. Well, this morning, a crisis at America's dinner table. Millions of families suddenly cut off from food assistance as SNAP funding runs dry during this government shutdown. Now, a federal judge is stepping in, ordering the Trump administration to find emergency money to keep the program alive. The president says he's ready to act, but time is running out for 42 million Americans who depend on those benefits to eat. Here's ABC's Jacqueline Lee.
SNAP benefits for 42 million Americans have been cut off. A federal judge is ordering the Trump administration to use emergency funds to restore the program. The program, which helps low-income Americans afford groceries, is running out of money as a result of the government shutdown.
Listen to me, in Washington, D.C., do not take away from us, please.
A Rhode Island judge saying without the SNAP federal food program, some 42 million of the country's most vulnerable would face irreparable harm and terror over the availability of funding for food for their family. President Trump saying he's instructing the government lawyers to ask the judge how we can legally fund SNAP as soon as possible, saying if the court gives direction, it will be my honor to provide the funding. The Trump administration is expected to appeal.
Anything with government or state or anything above my head that I don't have eyes on directly, believe it when you see it.
Jenna Jackson, a mother of 4 who runs a tree farm in Oklahoma, says without medicated SNAP, she would have to make tough choices.
My dog is sick, but I have to eat. So the dog is ultimately going to have to suffer, or the kids are going to have to wear shoes that are too small for an extra month because We had to buy dinner.
President Trump calling on GOP lawmakers to end the filibuster. Writing on social media, it is now time for the Republicans to play their Trump card.
Food is a basic human right. However you align yourself politically, people still need to eat.
Starting November 1st, cards will still work for those with remaining balances, but without new funding, they won't be reloaded. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, back here at home, Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones made a big announcement that affects families who depend on those SNAP benefits. The mayor says local businesses have raised more than $1.6 million to provide food for San Antonio families while SNAP benefits pause. So eligible households will receive a $150 HEB gift card via the San Antonio Area Foundation. That's going to be distributed by Metro Health and City Human Services.
I know so many families, when they heard the news of those SNAP benefits being paused, were really worried about how they were going to make it through that next month. And so that's why I knew we had to act quickly.
So according to the mayor, the fund will help nearly 11,000 families. She said details on the distribution of the funds and eligibility will be announced next week. Meanwhile, comedian Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias is giving San Antonio fans more than laughs this weekend. He's turning his show into a food drive for a good cause. So Sunday morning from 10 to noon, you can drop off canned goods at the Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club. That's off of Loop 410. 5 cans get you a wristband to his 3 p.m. show. 10 cans get you 2, and so on. No tickets are being sold, and it's first come, first serve for the first 350 people. Fluffy says you can expect a few special guests as well. Well, this morning, a family of 3, including a 1-year-old, are recovering after an incident on the south side. San Antonio police tell us a man got into a truck and accidentally hit the gas too hard, crashing into another parked car. A family of trick-or-treaters. That family of 3, including a 1-year-old, were all injured, with a 29-year-old woman being taken to the hospital. She's expected to be okay. Now, officers at the scene tell us that the other 2 got out with minor injuries, and that driver of the truck is in custody, and they're trying to figure out if he was intoxicated or not. Well, after 15 days of testimony, the state has finally rested in the trial of 3 former San Antonio police officers accused in the killing of Melissa Pettis. Now it's the defense's turn to present their case to the jury. The defense started by calling retired SAPD Detective Mark Duke to the stand. Duke testified that Elizar Alejandro, Alfred Flores, and Nathaniel Villalobos used their best judgment that night given the circumstances. He also said the San Antonio Police Department did not do a thorough investigation before filing that arrest warrant. If found guilty, all 3 former officers could face up to life in prison. We are live streaming this trial. Testimony is expected to continue Monday at noon. You can watch it all of it streaming on all of our platforms or on KSAT.com. 6:08, 52 degrees. Neighbors on the west side say their home is getting hit over and over again, and they're fed up. We'll tell you what they want done to stop it. That's next on GMSA.
All right, it's a beautiful morning out there. You can see it's still dark, but by tomorrow morning, we'll have seen the sunrise. That's, of course, because of the time change tonight. I'm going to have details on a small chance for rain today coming up.
Taking a look outside with TransGuide on the roads. Not seeing any major incidents early this morning, but we do know there are some major closures happening on the northeast side and on the northwest side of towns. Head to KSAT.com. RJ Marquez breaks down all those closures and those reroutes. Well, we have an important programming announcement. The TV provider YouTube TV and our affiliate network ABC are in a dispute over a contract. That's why ABC programming is off of YouTube TV. It's going to be that way until a deal is reached, which includes all ABC programming. Now, KSAT 12 is an affiliate of ABC and does not have any say in this matter. So all our newscasts continue to be streamed on the KSAT Plus app on your smart TV or mobile device. If you watch KSAT 12 on something other than YouTube TV, you are not affected. This also does not affect any clips or shows from KSAT 12 that you can watch on YouTube. As negotiations continue, we will continue to keep you informed. Well, a neighborhood is demanding that leaders step up after a car slammed into their home last weekend. That accident impacted one home, but people in the West Side neighborhood say it's a much bigger issue and that they've had accidents near their homes as well. And they blame speeding drivers. The night team Zaria Oates has been following this story since the day of the crash and met up with the councilman who represents that area.
We're at the corner of Dartmoor and Southwest 410 on the west side, and you can probably hear just how fast these cars are driving past, but you can also see it in the cement that's crumbling in this man's front yard from just how fast the vehicles come flying down this side road and crashing into people's property.
So I hear him speeding all night. I hear you hear motorcycle.
This is Marcus Booker. His neighbor, Juan Rodriguez, shares a similar experience living in this area on the west side, but he compared it to being in a war zone after someone crashed into his home straight through the bedroom wall.
I honestly thought a bomb went off. I just retired 23 years Army with 6 deployments, and I thought I was in Iraq.
Since then, his family put up a temporary fix on their exterior bedroom wall, and they've gotten an attorney because they say it's an endless cycle of speed, crash, rebuild, repeat.
I hear bam, and I come out and there's a car, and it's usually about 2 in the morning. And the police have always taken statements, but they never got anything from me. Because you'll see they've hit here, right here. This is one spot.
They ran through our fence like 5 times, 6 times.
I've seen this, but
So I called Councilman Edward Munguia because this is his district.
This is a life or death situation out here, and I think we need to do a lot more on this side. And whatever I can do at the city level, my district, I'm happy to do that.
What can be done about this moving forward?
On the city side, we're going to work with SAPD and get some enforcement. TxDOT needs to work on some better infrastructure on the actual access road itself. I think they need to upgrade the barricades to something a lot stronger to prevent cars from actually going into properties.
I emailed TxDOT requesting an interview, but they declined because they cannot comment without reviewing the crash details. In their reply, a TxDOT spokesperson mentioned that speeding is one of the leading causes of crashes in the state. But these neighbors want a firm solution.
Put more barriers along the whole axis and barriers that are actually going to stop vehicles.
And someone to cover the price tag, too.
If they hit me, I would like someone to pay for it. That's what I would like. 'Cause I've had to redo this myself 3 times.
Barriers, police presence, and someone to cover the bill are the requests of these homeowners. Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
Oh my goodness, even those cars, are just hearing them going by super quick.
Oh.
Thankfully, in my neighborhood last night, there were not too many speeders, so that was good.
I think I saw a lot of people walking, like parking in walkings. That made me really happy. But it was also the weather.
Oh gosh, the weather was like
beautiful.
Perfect. I really don't think we could have asked for better weather for Halloween and for trick-or-treating. Things have cooled down pretty significantly for us right now as you're stepping out the door. It's near 50 degrees. 52 at the Alamo City. It's 50 in Bulverde. Good morning, Bernie. 46. 49 in Uvalde. It's 52 in Kerrville. It's a little bit just a smidge warmer than the last couple of mornings. Definitely still chilly, and you want that jacket early this morning. As we take a look across the nation, though, most of us are waking up at least cool, feeling like fall on this first morning of November. But you can see there is a colder core of air across the Central Plains. Temperatures below freezing for a good portion of the Central Plains. That's behind a cool front. And this cool front is going to kind of dictate our weather today. It brings a very small chance for rain. As we take a look at clouds and radar, you can see that there's just a little bit of light rain ongoing across North Texas near this front. And so I'll walk you through the futurecast. I do not want you to cancel your plans today. What I want you to notice, though, is that throughout the day, you'll notice increasing clouds and perhaps a brief shower in the afternoon hours. Look at coverage, not that much, maybe 20% coverage. Small chance for you to see rain in your backyard, and it would only be briefly. a brief shower in the afternoon hours as that front is moving through. And then once that front moves through, we're going to have very dry air take its place. And so tomorrow is going to be one of those days where we're going to have complete sunshine, very low humidity. But both today and tomorrow are going to be gorgeous days. It's just a small chance for rain today. So let me walk you through that KSAT 12-hour forecast. By 10, we're already going to be in the low 60s. By noon, upper 60s, and that's when you'll start to notice a few more clouds in the afternoon. After 3 p.m., there's a small 20% chance for a stray shower. Otherwise, a high temperature of 75. It's going to be a lovely day. In the mid 70s around San Antonio, low 70s in the hill country, closer to 80 degrees for Del Rio, Eagle Pass, and mid 80s farther south toward Laredo, Cotulla, and Freer. And then by tomorrow morning, I think we'll be cooler than we are right now. We're going to be waking up in the 40s around San Antonio, low 40s in the hill country, a chilly start to your Sunday, and then a beautiful day on Sunday. We're going to have low humidity Sunday and Monday. Really, the only change to our forecast in the coming days is going to be in the form of a little bit more humidity in the air by the middle of the week. You're not necessarily going to notice it's sticky and humid outside, but what you will notice is that the mornings are not going to be as chilly. By Wednesday, Thursday will be closer to 60 degrees, and the afternoons will be in the 80s. Still, though, very pleasant weather for us. It's just that this weekend is going to be really gorgeous. Just a reminder, set your clocks back tonight. Tomorrow morning, the sun's going to rise around 6:50 in the morning, and the sun's going to set around 5:50 at night, so before 6 p.m. That'll take a bit of adjustment, I think, for me, and especially because you and I both have babies now, and they're not gonna care about that time change.
No, they are not. It's okay. Oh, hold on. Sorry, my microphone is off.
That's all right. I can go ahead and
I was having a little snack.
A little snack while I was doing the weather?
Yeah,
okay.
It's my break time. All right, thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Can y'all hear me now? Okay. All right. All right, it's 6:22, 52 degrees. We'll be right back.
Prince, now we're here inside the dining room at Merimonte, and you have a brand new dish on the menu. We're super excited. It comes with table-side cheese. This is your new chicken parmesan, right?
I'm so very excited to share this with everybody.
Let's check it out, man. Let's see what this looks like. All right, cheese. Oh my God. Wow. That is incredible. And right on top of the dish, you get more Parmesan Reggiano. You get that fresh parsley on there. All right, I'm gonna cut in, and look at this, y'all. When you talk about cheese, woo, look at that cheese, baby. Oh my. That's what it's all about. Cheers.
Oh, that was funny. All right, Halloween is over, and now we're on to Christmas. Stores certainly are. All right, starting today, you can apply to be a Blue Santa family. To apply, just visit any of the 6 substations where an officer or employee will help you with your info. Remember, this program is for kids newborn to 12 years old, and you must live in San Antonio. Bring a CPS or water bill and each child's birth certificate if you qualify, and you'll get your gifts delivered between December 15th and 24th. Really a great program that SAPD puts on for the community. All right, 6:27, 52 degrees. Reactions about the removal of the rainbow crosswalks continue to pour in. So what the community had to say about the mayor's response. Good morning, it's 6:31. On your Saturday, it's November 1st.
Yes. Closing a chapter.
I know, and I love how we're like straight on to Christmas, but what about Thanksgiving?
I know. Come on. I actually love Thanksgiving, but I love cooking, so I bet David Elder is going to have a lot for Thanksgiving.
I'm sure he's going to give us a lot of good tips.
It is cool this morning. Temperatures are near 50 degrees in San Antonio, in the 40s in the hill country, 48 in New Braunfels, and 49 in Uvalde. But believe it or not, this is a little bit warmer than how we've been the last couple of mornings. Take a look at the temperature change. Yesterday morning, we were about 10 degrees cooler around San Antonio and close to 20 degrees cooler in the hill country. So it's cool, but it's not nearly as chilly as it has been the last couple of mornings. All right, as we take a look at clouds and radar across the state, you can see there's some light rain up near the Dallas area. This is around a cool front. This cool front will be moving through San Antonio today, and here's what it's going to do. Let me give you a breakdown for your Dia de los Muertos weekend. 75 today. A small 20% chance for a shower, just a very small chance. Do not cancel your outdoor plans because it's going to be a lovely day otherwise. Then by tomorrow morning, 49, a high of 73, totally sunny and nice. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that small rain chance. Plus, we're starting November. What does November usually bring us in San Antonio weather-wise? Details coming up.
Well, people are reacting to what San Antonio Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones said Thursday night during a rally aimed at protecting rainbow crosswalks in the city's Pride District. Remember, Governor Greg Abbott said he wants all political ideologies removed from Texas streets because they're distracting to drivers. That's according to him. So the rainbow, which is a symbol of the LGBTQ plus pride, would be affected. Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones, she spoke at that rally, and here's one of the things she said.
My pride is not tied to this paint. You know why? Because it's in my heart and in my head.
So that statement from the mayor was just one of many that left a sour taste with the San Antonio's LGBTQ plus community. Mayor Jones spoke for 6 minutes at Thursday's event, but the mayor's comments suggested that the city had to be realistic in its approach.
There's a number of ways in which we can show our pride, make sure our community feels seen and heard, and we are not inviting unneeded retribution against the most vulnerable in our community.
Well, now we're hearing from some of the local LGBTQ plus community directly following the mayor's remarks. In a statement given to KSAT, they're accusing Mayor Jones of not listening to their concerns and being dismissive.
She's made decisions without talking to stakeholders in the community. She's made these decisions just flippantly on her own without really having extensive conversations, which is what last night could have been.
Community organizers said they want the city to fight the directive, even if it means a lawsuit. It's worth noting that Mayor Jones said the city will still file an exemption to the directive, but wanted to manage people's expectations about what can be achieved. To see your full comments and our extensive coverage on this issue, visit our website, ksat.com. A middle school boy continues to recover this morning after a vehicle hit him about half a mile away from his school earlier this week. So Northside ISD tells us the 12-year-old is a student at Rudder Middle School. A vehicle hit him near the intersection of Prue Road and Horn Boulevard. San Antonio police say it appears to have been an accident and the driver is not facing any charges. Now, families we spoke to yesterday morning at the school were concerned about letting their kids walk.
I don't let him walk. He takes the bus home, but I don't let him walk to school. But even though at the bus stop, I pick him up at the bus stop, which is only a block away from home. But I don't like him to walk at all.
Why is that?
It's too dangerous, you know. I mean, people don't slow down.
In Tuesday's crash, police say the boy was standing in the median and began to walk when the light turned green. That's when he was hit. He was taken to the hospital and he's expected to be okay. Well, the head of the FBI San Antonio field office has been fired, according to CNN. So Aaron Tapp was named special agent in charge last year. Before that, Tapp served as the deputy assistant director in the FBI's criminal investigation division. That's where CNN says he had oversight of probes into President Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. Now, one of those investigations focused on a fake elector scheme. It's according to CNN. So in the last few weeks, Republican lawmakers have released records from that investigation, and KSAT has reached out to the FBI San Antonio office for comment. We have not heard back. Tapp is a 22-year veteran of the FBI. Well, a local teen is speaking out. She says her boyfriend shot her last weekend. She's also 7 months pregnant. So the 16-year-old and her mother, who are not being identified, want you to hear their story. They don't want you to experience what happened to them. So what are the signs of teen domestic violence? Erica Hernandez tells a story.
I didn't think he was going to shoot the gun, but he already had pulled the trigger on it, and all I remember was my ear ringing and me moving my head to the left, and I looked down and I see blood.
It was the early morning hours on Sunday when this teen says she wanted to leave her boyfriend's house on Calle Estrella on the city's southwest side. When she tried to leave, she ended up being shot in the arm. Teen dating violence affects nearly 10% of all teenagers in the U.S.
That's according to teendbmonth.org.
But what are the red flags that parents and others should look out for if their teen is in a relationship? Some red flags included excessive jealousy or insecurity, controlling who you talk to, spend time with, invasions of your privacy, including technology, unexpected bouts of anger or rage, and threatening or causing physical violence. The teen's mother called 911 right after her phone call was abruptly ended with her daughter, and she could no longer get a hold of her.
The fear to know that you didn't know if she was going to be alive or not.
Because if he is released, he's going to come back for her.
The mother is currently trying to get a protective order for her daughter, but because she herself has a conviction, she's having some trouble. So we try to get some answers for her. In Bexar County, a protective order is done by two agencies, the Bexar County Criminal District Attorney's Office Protective Order Unit or with Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid. But with each one, the process can take anywhere from 3 days to 3 weeks. For now, the teen is getting counseling and hoping her story helps others.
Leave before it gets too late.
As for that 16-year-old boy, he is still in juvenile detention but does have a detention hearing coming up next month. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
So remember, if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, there is help. Scan that QR code you see on your screen there to see KSAT's list of resources on domestic violence. It's on our webpage. It also explains how to identify different types of abuse. On our resource page, there's a section on legal help as well. So we are just days away from the November 4th election, and early voting numbers are in. A total of 143,499 of you voted this week, and that's just a reminder that on November 4th, voting centers will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., where voters will get to decide on two major propositions that are related to the San Antonio Spurs' potential move to a downtown arena. Also on the ballot for all Texas voters are 17 constitutional amendments. Also on the ballot, 5 school districts in Bexar County are asking voters for financial relief. So if you live in one of these districts, your specific ballot will ask you to check yes or no for an increase on your tax rate to go towards the school district. So here's a breakdown of why we can expect to see these tax rate elections on the ballot more often. If you live in Bernie, Schertz-Cibolo Universal City, Judson, East Central, or Lavernia school districts in Bexar County, this November election you'll be asked to check for or against a tax rate increase. Here are what the following increases look like for every $100 in value. Bernie ISD by 2 cents, East Central ISD 5 cents, SCUC ISD 12 cents, Judson ISD 4.5 cents, and Lavernia would go up 3 cents. A former superintendent of one of the biggest school districts in San Antonio, Dr. Brian Woods, says these increases can be used broadly, usually for things like student programming or improving day-to-day operational expenses. These are different from school bonds, which are for specific projects.
This is the part of the tax that pays for teacher pay, for custodians, for putting fuel in buses, for turning the lights on in classrooms. It's that day-to-day operations piece where districts are really struggling to make ends meet.
He says voters can expect to see more of these voter-approved tax rate elections more often.
The reason for districts going out for tax rate elections this November and as I said, last November and very likely next November in different districts is more of the function of inflation and the lack of additional state funding, and districts have been surviving on their fund balance.
Woods points out that this last legislative session was one of the first school funding increases to Texas schools in several years. Just this year, House Bill 2 allocated $8.5 billion towards public school, which could have voters asking,
why do schools still need more money?
Woods says half of that money went to teacher salary increases, and the other half went to very specific expenses.
There were very few additional dollars for any other employee. Think custodians, bus drivers, child nutrition workers, instructional assistants, secretaries in the schools. So a lot of districts are using it partially for teacher pay, but partially to go help pay all those other staff who are important to the way a school operates.
If you go to your school district's website, for example, like Bernie ISD, they explain exactly how they plan on spending that money. I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News. All right, it's 6:42 and 52 degrees. There's a recall for chocolate bars this morning. Still ahead, what to look for in your candy pile. Plus, the FDA is working on restrictions for fluoride products, why they're saying certain age groups should avoid them.
We are sunny as we're starting our day. The sun is going to rise here soon, and we will be looking at a beautiful day, but there's a small chance for rain. Plus, this October was hot in spite of the last couple of days. I've got to look at how this October compared to years past coming up.
Well, the Food and Drug Administration is taking steps to limit prescription fluoride supplements. This comes after the government's Make America Healthy Again Commission asked them to look at the risks and benefits. Now the FDA says kids under 3 and older kids who aren't at high risk for tooth decay should avoid fluoride drops or tablets. They've warned companies not to market these products to those groups and advised doctors to recommend against them as well. While fluoride has been under scrutiny, experts still say it's safe and help prevent tooth decay. Well, double check your kids' candy this morning. So Zingerman's candy manufacturer announced a recall of 2 products for health-related concerns. It's Peanut Butter Crush full-size bars and it's Cashew Cow full-size bars may have undeclared cashews or peanuts in them. The Food and Drug Administration says these candy bars could pose a threat to people related to nut allergies. No illnesses have been reported so far. For more information, is available at fda.gov. Also happening today, another Dia de los Muertos celebration at the Pearl. This is from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and it's free and open to the public. You can expect live performances, art, and altars.
Great weather. Great weather for any Dia de los Muertos festivals or things going on. The one thing I will say is there's a small chance for a shower this afternoon, but it shouldn't make you cancel your plans because the chance is very small.
Okay.
But hey, October, up until the last couple of days, was very hot, Sarah. Yeah. Take a look at this graphic here. Every single day, with the exception of the last 3 days of October, was hotter than average. And in fact, we reached a record on the 28th just this last Tuesday of 91. Then that front moved through and our highs were only in the 60s and 70s for the last 3 days of October. In fact, everything calculated, this will go down as our 3rd hottest October ever in San Antonio's history. If that cool front did not save the day, we were easily going to be the hottest October on record for San Antonio. So what do we usually see in November? Well, today's November 1st. Our average high today is 77. We're actually going to be cooler than that today. And our average low is 55. And we're starting the day cooler than 55. So that's how the month starts. By the end of the month, November 30th, our average high is in the 60s and our average low is in the mid 40s. We also usually see about 2 inches of rain on average for the month of November. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how much rain we get. I'm hoping we get more rain, but the first week of November is going to be fairly dry. The only chance for rain that we have is today, and it's a small 20% chance for a stray shower. And it's all because of this cool front that's in North Texas right now. You can actually see that there's some light rain from Dallas down to Waco. Again, I do not anticipate us seeing a lot of rain around San Antonio, but what we are seeing is a little bit of moisture returning in from the Gulf. It's very, very dry behind that front, but just a little bit of moisture in from the Gulf. So as I walk you through the futurecast, again, the chance for rain today is small. The biggest thing you'll notice is an increase in clouds. By the afternoon and early evening hours, 1 or 2 pop-up showers. So very brief, probably no lightning with these. And it's going to come to an end once that front pushes through and we see very dry air moving in over San Antonio. I will say, though, for the Rio Grande Valley, there is a risk of storms today. So if you have friends and family in the RGV, I would just make sure to give them a call, let them know to pay attention to the weather today. For us, though, in San Antonio, we are going to be dry. Temperatures are going to be warming under sunny skies right now. By noon, though, you'll start to notice a few clouds, 68 around the lunch hour. And then in the afternoon, there's that 20% chance for a stray shower, 75 for the high in San Antonio. And then by tomorrow morning, it's going to be chilly. Temperatures will be in the 40s around the Alamo City and the low 40s across the hill country. So a couple of degrees cooler than what we're dealing with out there right now. Then a high tomorrow of 73. It's going to be a gorgeous sunny day. Absolutely no chance for rain. Beautiful weather outside. And then take a look at the week ahead. Our mornings are going to get slightly warmer, so much so that we'll be near 60 degrees by Thursday morning. And our afternoons are going to get warmer too, in the 80s. Not necessarily hot weather, but pretty pleasant. And then just a reminder, again, tonight we gain an hour of sleep. Well, maybe not Sarah and I because we have a baby, but we will be looking at the sun rising at 6:48 in the morning tomorrow, an hour earlier, and the sun setting an hour earlier at 5:45. That's always a bit of an adjustment, it getting darker earlier in the day.
So does that mean okay, hold on, my brain's mush right now. So if the baby goes to sleep usually around 8:30, she's going to want to go to sleep
around 7:30.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
But that means she'll also wake up an hour earlier.
I'll be here.
Oh, that's
my husband will deal with that. Yeah. All right, thank you, Sarah. Let's take a look outside with TransGuide. Yep, not really seeing the sun rising this morning at this point, but we do have some cars on the road. Now, there are some major closures going on around the northeast side and northwest side of town. RJ Marquez, just check in on KSAT.com, type in traffic, and he has an explainer of where those closures are and the reroutes and how long they'll last for. We'll be right back. Mega Millions jackpot climbing closer to $1 billion. No ticket matched all 6 numbers last night. Good, because I forgot to buy a ticket. So the jackpot for the next drawing on Tuesday, an estimated $800 million. That's $371 million if you take the cash option. I'll take that. The big prize has been growing ever since late June, when a Virginia winner hit for $348 million.
And good morning to you on this Saturday. Coming up here on GMA, 42 million Americans losing critical food assistance as the government shutdown enters day 32. The latest legal moves underway to keep families from being cut off. Plus, an alarming close call at Boston Logan Airport for 2 passenger planes. The near collision happening amid a critical shortage of air traffic controllers. We'll look into that. Also, it's win or go home. The Dodgers defeat the Blue Jays, forcing a Game 7 in the World Series. A look ahead to tonight's do-or-die game. And College game day making a return to Utah for a Big 12 face-off. ESPN's Desmond Howard, he's going to join us here with a breakdown of the clash in Salt Lake City and all the big games to watch. That and so much more ahead on GMA. See you soon.